Hello all, welcome to the next session on electronic devices. Till the previous class, we had completed about the MOSFET structure, and then we had started off with the current voltage relationship concept under MOSFETs. So for that case, we assumed that we are taking, or we considered an N-channel enhancement type MOSFET, and we considered two cases. What are the two cases? One is when my VGS is less than the threshold voltage. So when it is less than the threshold voltage, will the gate voltage be sufficient to pull the electrons which is there in the P type of substrate? No, it's not sufficient. As a result, there cannot be any channel formation. Now, what is the next case that we considered? It is when my VGS is greater than VT. For both the cases, we have assumed the VDS to be as small positive voltage. Now, under this case, as my VGS is greater than that of VT, that is minimum voltage that have to be provided across gate in order to attract the electrons which is present in the p-type semiconductor. So, once these electrons tends and get attracted towards the drain or the gate terminal, they tend to accumulate and form what? An induced electron inversion layer. See, we are trying to create a layer of electrons within the P region which I have already covered. Why? What is that layer referred as? It is referred as an inversion layer, and therefore we refer that to be as what? Which kind of layer we are creating? It's an electron inversion layer. So that layer is induced within the P region, and that's what this is being represented as. And what are these? These are the space charge regions. And also we have clearly understood that, see, the size of the depletion regions or the space charge regions that I have considered. Since the drain is more positive and compared to that of source, this depletion region width or the space charge region width have to be wider when compared to that of the previous case. Then you can write it little less in size just in comparison with this because it was too big. I felt it was too big. So henceforth done, and see here also that comparison takes place. This depletion region width or the space charge region width is less than that of this because it is grounded here, whereas this N plus region is connected to the positive. Now we understood two cases. Here in this case the device is in the off condition. Here in this case the device is in the on condition and the channel is enhanced, and we refer that layer as inversion layer. Now by considering these cases, let me try to represent the equation for ID. Once we are done representing that, we will try to see the characteristics. So if in case for small value of VDS, if I want to represent the ID we know that it can be given as GD into VDS. What does GD indicate? It indicates that this is the transconductance of the channel that is being formed. And what is VDS? It is the drain to source voltage, and ID is the current. Which current? It is the current which is flowing from drain to source. That's the conventional current. Now, that transconductance that we have can be given by a formula which is given as W by L into mu n into modulus of Q dash. Now what does this W indicates? It is the width of the channel, this is the length of the channel, this is the mobility of the electrons, and Q prime or Q dash indicates the charge which is stored per unit area. Whenever I write a prime here, it indicates it is measured per unit area. Please note that point. I hope all of you are clear, and this indicates the equations. So where GD indicates this, and you always have to mention once after done writing the equations what does each and every term signifies in the equations that you have written. Now once we are done with this, now let us try to represent the curve which relates, or the characteristics which relates ID versus VDS for different values of VGS. Then this is VDS axis, this is my ID axis, this is 0. Now, as I mentioned, when my VGS is less than VT, will there be any current flow? No. How will I represent that? So, for small values of VGS, what happens to the current in the device? There is no current as such. Therefore, see, I have written a long dotted lines, and this is the case when my VGS is less than VT. Now what is the next condition? When my VGS is greater than VT. So when my VGS is greater than VT, what happens? Electron channel is formed and there is a flow of electrons that takes place from the source to that of drain and get attracted towards the positive terminal of the battery. As a result, that shows a linear relationship, and that linear relationship is what I am trying to represent now. Done, and this is when I will consider this voltage to be as VGS1, which is greater than which voltage? The threshold voltage. Done. Now, the next thing that you have to understand is, even if I further increase the gate to source voltage more than this VGS1, which is greater than VT, what will happen? Obviously, the amount of current that also flows in the device also increases, and that increase is what I am trying to represent from this particular dotted lines. And this is the condition where my gate to source voltage, which is for the second case, is greater than that of VGS1. So when my VGS2 is greater than VGS1, the current which is flowing across the device tends to increase. Now from this you can clearly understand that whatever the ID current that is flowing, the amount of ID current which is flowing in the device is purely dependent on, or it is dependent on, the gate to source voltage that I am providing. So based on the amount of voltage that I am providing, I can decide how much of current has to flow from the source to drain. Getting my point? And therefore, if you remember, these FETs are referred as voltage controlled devices. Got this point? And all these things comes under the case wherein I have kept my VDS to be as some small positive voltage, and when my VGS is varying. Done. And now we will look into another case, that is case 2, where my VGS is greater than VT. That is only one condition that we are considering for VGS. What is that? It is greater than VT. But what we will do with VDS is we try to increase the VDS towards a positive voltage. That is, I will try to increase the positive voltage that I am providing across the drain terminal and see how the device behaves. Yeah? Let us try to look into that now. Now for this condition, let me showcase only this portion, right? Only this portions will be considering for the upcoming figures. So only that I will be representing right here. That is why I have retained the diagram to make you understand. So what is that we have? We have a metal layer. This is the metal layer that I am trying to right now plot. Under the metal layer, what do we have? An oxide layer. This is the oxide. Beneath the oxide, what is being formed? An inversion layer is being formed. That is what I am trying to write. And then at these ends, what is that? We have source and drain. Let me represent those terminals. What is source? It is grounded. And drain I have represented. Let me consider this to be as some positive VDS value that I am providing. Now beneath this, what do we have? This is the depletion region, right? So let me represent that depletion region. What is this? This is inversion layer or induced inversion layer, electron inversion layer, and beneath this what do we have? A P substrate. What is this terminal? It is the gate. What is the condition we have considered? VGS is greater than VT, and this is grounded. See, I have shorted these two. That is grounded. I can represent this to be as channel inversion charge. Done. And then let me consider this length of the channel. This is the channel which is being formed between the source and the drain, right? So let me consider that length to be as L. So this here right away, this portion is what I have represented in this. I hope all of you can relate this with that of this. Yeah. So from now onwards, we'll be considering this particular portion and try to represent for different cases. Yeah. I'll just erase this. Now, see what is that I am trying to do? I am trying to provide certain positive voltage across the drain to source terminal, and I am increasing the VGS, and that VGS is greater than VT. So if that happens, then there is a formation of inversion layer that takes place. There is a formation of channel between the source and the drain, and if I want to plot the characteristics, we have already seen with the characteristics. Let me just represent that characteristic. So how is that? For a small positive voltage of VDS, what happens to the characteristics? It is linear in nature, and that is what this basic line here indicates. Done? Now, once you have understood this, if in case I change this VDS value, that is I am making this VDS to be more positive, what is happening to the channel? Will it be same? No, it varies, right? Just like the way in which we considered for JFETs, here also it changes. Now let's try to analyze how it basically happens, or what basically happens. Let me consider the same figure in order to depict that as well. So what is that I am trying to do? I am trying to increase my VDS. How will I indicate the increase in the VDS? I have to write, let me write two double plus signs, which indicates I am increasing my VDS to be more positive. When I do that, the channel that we have, or the channel inversion layer that we have, is no longer uniform throughout the length. Instead, you can see that it is getting narrowed down. It is getting narrowed down, which is near to the drain terminal when compared to that of source. Now, why it is getting narrowed down? See, whenever there's conditions you have to consider, you have to write different figures. The previous figure you have to write it separately, and this figure you have to write it separately. I am just altering it here itself in order to save time, but please don't do that. Yeah. So, I have increased the VDS. What happens to the channel near the drain region? It is becoming narrow down when compared to that of the source. Now, why is this happening? Because we know what is this drain region made of. You remember, these are the N plus wells. This is the drain that we have, right? What is this drain I am doing? I am trying to increase, or I am trying to provide more and more positive voltage to the N plus region. If I am doing so, what happens to the depletion region? Will it widen further, or will it remain the same? It is widening further, right? Because we are making this junction to get reverse biased. As a result, because of that widening, whatever the voltage drop that I can see at the drain terminal tends to reduce. Because of that, whatever the charges that is induced near the drain terminal also tends to reduce. Now, because of that reduction, what you can see is the overall channel, whatever the distribution of the charge carriers, is now no longer uniform. As a result, I need to indicate that change in the channel resistance that is happening. That is basically indicated by the curve just like this I have represented. Done. And this is when I provide a positive, when I increase the positive potential across the drain terminal. Now, what happens if I further increase this voltage, this positive voltage? So, what will I consider that further increase? Let this to be as plus VDS. Now, when I tend to increase that further, there comes a point wherein at the drain terminal, what happens? There is a pinch off, that is C. What is that is happening? There is a pinch off that takes place. Just like the way we observe the pinch off in the JFETs. Now, when this pinch off occurs, what happens to the current which is flowing across the device? So, the current which is flowing across the device becomes constant. and the point after which the current becomes constant is referred as VDS-SAT, and the current which is absorbed is referred as IDSS, which is the drain to source voltage, which is the saturation voltage. After this voltage, if I provide the drain to source voltage, after this any value of drain to source voltage if I provide, what happens to the drain current? It remains constant, and it is independent of the drain to source voltage, and that current is referred as drain to source current, that is a saturation current. And therefore, what is this region referred as? Saturation region, whereas this region is referred as non-saturated region. Therefore, instead of writing as triple plus, what we can write is, we can just write it as VDS-SAT. That is, I am providing an voltage across the drain which is exactly at this point. When I do that, my device reaches the saturation. Now, when the device reaches the saturation, what happens to the induced charge carriers which is present here? It becomes 0. What happens to the voltage that is absorbed, the drop that is absorbed across the drain terminal? It becomes equal to the threshold voltage. Please note these points. So, only when that happens, the charges which is induced becomes 0 near the drain region. As a result, what happens to the current? It becomes constant. But when you see physically, since it is pinched off, according to us, there should not be any current which is flowing across the device. It has to be ideally 0. But still, we are finding out certain amount of finite current which is flowing across. Now, why is that so? How can that happen? Let me try to clearly explain you with the condition. Yeah, what is that condition I am considering? All these, you know, it is a channel inversion region and all. So, what is that I will do here is, I will consider a VDS value which is greater than that of VDS-SAT. Done? Now, we have understood the channel resistance is not uniform because it totally depends on the potential that I am providing across the drain region. That change in the resistance itself is this particular graph which is showing right away. And then as soon as it reaches saturation, is there any slope? No, because the slope becomes literally equal to 0. Now, let me consider what happens to the potential throughout the drop across the channel. It is varying, right? So, let me consider this point to be as VDS-SAT, and then this to be as VDS value which is greater than VDS-SAT. So, when I increase my VDS value greater than the saturation voltage, what happens is, you can observe previously we had a pinch off that was happening right here. As I increase my VDS given greater than VDS-SAT, what is happening to this point? It is moving near to the source region, and that is one thing you have to understand. And also the effective channel length that you can see. Okay, so that is one case. And now the second case is that whatever the effective channel length that I can see is now getting reduced. Is it the same compared to that of previous case? In the very first case, the channel length was from source to that of drain. Now it is only this much. Getting my point? So that is what you have to understand clearly. Done? Yeah. Now, what is exactly happening here in order to ensure that there is a current, constant current which is flowing across the device? Let me just enlarge only this portion and try to represent it over here. So, this is my VDS-SAT potential. This is the potential where my VDS is greater than VDS-SAT, and right here this indicates the pinch off. This is the drain and this is the source. Done? Now, see, this point is at higher potential when compared to that of this point because VDS is greater than VDS-SAT. Therefore, how will I consider the electric field direction? This is the way in which I will be considering the electric field direction. Now, if the electric field, induced electric field that is present is in this direction, then the electrons which is present right here, when they tend to move like this, and then when they come and reach this particular region, that is the pinch off region, what will happen is they will become under the influence of, they will come under the influence of electric field, and we know that how the electrons tend to move, it is opposite to the direction of the electric field. As a result, what is happening, these electrons which once it reaches this region, it gets swept to the drain terminal. Getting my point? Let me just repeat again. See, this point is VDS, which is at greater potential when compared to that of this. Now, higher potential to lower potential is the electric field direction. That is the way I have represented. So, this is the electric field which is induced across this region where there is no inversion charge that is present. Now, when I consider the electron movement, so when these electrons tends to come and reach here, what will happen, they will be under the influence of electric field. As a result, these electrons will be get swept to the drain terminal, and if that happens at a constant rate, what happens to the current which is flowing across the device, it becomes constant, and therefore we say there is certain amount of current which is flowing in the device which is independent of VDS. I hope all of you got this point. And how many figures totally you have to consider? There are totally 4 figures. First was plus VDS, then plus VDS, after that VDS sat, and the condition VDS which is greater than VDS. And for all these cases, you have to write separate diagrams and explain what exactly is happening, the diagram along with the characteristics that you have to consider. And this is all about the current voltage relationship concepts. Along with this, we have 2 more equations that you need to know for the drain current. Now let me try to represent that. So what are the 2 regions I can consider is, this is the saturation region where the drain current becomes independent of VDS, and this is the region which is non-saturation region wherein it is dependent on VDS. So let me try to represent the equations in both of these cases. Yeah. So if I want to consider for saturation region and this is for non-saturation region. So if I want to represent then that the ID current equation goes as follows. It is W by L into mu n into COX into VGS minus VT into VDS minus VDS square divided by 2. Yeah, this is for the non-saturation region. Coming to the saturation region, ID is given by W by L into mu n into COX into VGS minus VT. You can write it as capital VT, which is the threshold voltage, whole square divided by 2. And these are the equations which is considered for the non-saturation region and for the saturation region. And if in case I want to consider the equation for VDS sat, the VDS sat is basically given by VGS minus VT. And these are the 3 equations that you have to be familiar with. And this is the condition for one VGS value. If in case I am varying the VGS as well, then I need to indicate that also in my characteristics. So let me try to represent the characteristics for that case as well. So how will I consider those characteristics as? Let this be ID, VDS and 0. Now when my VGS value is low, this is where, for example, this is where it is reaching the saturation region. Now as I tend to increase my VGS, observe what is happening to the point at which it is reaching saturation. It is tending to shift towards my right. That indicates that as my VGS value is increasing. So this is the way my VGS is increasing. As I tend to increase my VGS, what is happening to the point at which the saturation takes place, even that increases. The VDS value at which the saturation takes place also increases. Now if I connect all these and then if I try to plot a characteristics, and this characteristics is called as transconductance characteristics, and the equation for this is VDS sat, which is equal to VGS minus VT. And these are nothing but the VDS sat values for different VGS, right? This is VDS sat 1, This is for VGS1 which is greater than VT, and this is VGS2 which is greater than VGS1, VGS3 which is greater than VGS2, and then VGS4 which is greater than VGS3. What is that I am basically doing? I am considering the VGS value to be greater and greater as I move upwards, and this becomes VDS SAT for which value? For VGS2 value. So as you can see what is happening to that value when that is increasing, and also you can see what happens to the IDSS when that is increasing, and that's the relationship that you can find between the ID versus VDS as a function of VGS. And this is for the case of the enhancement, N-channel enhancement type MOSFET. I hope all of you are clear with this. Now let's try to look into the depletion type MOSFET and see how it behaves. Done? Now let's try to look into which kind of MOSFET it is. Depletion type MOSFET. Done. Let me just mark the depletion region that is present. Done. And there exists already an N channel which is already built in. When you are fabricating, you can either intentionally put up a layer of N, and that's how you can form the N channel. Getting my point? Now, one thing you have to understand here very clearly is that there is already a formation, the channel is already being formed. That is why we say this as depletion kind of MOSFET. Therefore, all you have to do is, even if I keep my gate voltage to be as 0, will there be current which is flowing if I provide drain to source voltage? Obviously, there will be certain voltage that you can see, or sorry, obviously there will be certain amount of current that you can see between the source to drain, because there is already a path between the source and drain. There is no creation of a path. So for the creation we require gate voltage, right? Even now when I keep it as 0, there is already a path, which in turn when I connect just a battery across the source and drain, what will happen? The electron starts flowing across the device, and because of which the device is in the on condition. Got the point? Now, one more major difference that you have to understand between the enhancement and depletion here is, here the threshold voltage that we consider is a negative threshold voltage. In the previous case it was a positive threshold voltage, here it is a negative threshold voltage. Now, why it is negative is, use your common sense. See, we have already have a layer of electrons here. So, if I want these electrons not to be there, then which kind of potential I have to provide right here? It is the negative potential. When I provide negative potential, what happens to these electrons? There will be repulsion. I can make sure that there is no channel, there is no channel further. Yeah, in order to make that, what can I do? I can make sure that I could provide a negative voltage across the gate, and therefore we say the threshold voltage to be as a negative threshold voltage, and that is the process that we use in order to turn off the device. How will you turn off the device? Is just provide a negative voltage, because of which the electrons gets repelled. As a result, there is no current flow that takes place. Got the point? And that is the constructional details. And if in case I consider the characteristics, see, where did I start off with? I consider a condition where my gate to source voltage is greater than VT, because VT is negative. Please do remember that. And VGS value is what? It is greater than 0. Even at that point of time I can see certain current which is flowing in the device. Yeah, only when I make my VGS way less than minus VT, then only I can see no current in the device. And then when VGS is equal to 0, you can still see a current. When it is greater than 0 also, you can see the current. And these are the points where it is reaching the saturation for different values of VGS. If I try to connect all of them, then that particular plot indicates the transconductance plot. Yeah, and both of these cases is for which kind of MOSFET? It is the depletion type N-channel MOSFET. And this completes about the current voltage relationship concept. I hope all of you are clear with this particular topic. So this is all about the MOSFET operation. Now once we have understood the MOSFET operation, in the next class we'll be starting off with the energy band diagrams. How to represent the energy band diagrams for the N channel which is being formed. After the N channel is being formed, how to represent the energy diagram for that. And then if in case you are forming a P channel, how to represent the energy band diagram for the same, where we have a conduction energy level, valence band energy level, Fermi level. So all those will be coming across, and then we'll be considering that. So once we are done with the energy band diagram, and then we'll be left out with one more topic which is about current voltage characteristics. So that completes module 4, which will be taking up in the next session. Thank you one and all. Have a good day.